Greetings, Frisbee enthusiasts. We have the final round of Winter at the Bud 2020. This is going to be played on the blue pads of Bud Pell. And on the card today, we have Paul Ulibarri, myself, Tanner Dorner, you, Dylan Slate, and Erik Hayworth coming out of Oregon.
He's played in every Winter at the Bud, if I'm not mistaken.
He missed last year and maybe the first year. But yeah, me and you are the only locals of this course. Ulibarri and Tanner are playing blind today. So a shot like this playing blind is not easy.
Yeah.
See, Uli needed to maybe saw it off a little more than that.
Yeah, he actually was asking me what I do. I said I go for the forehand, and then when he did that, I said I actually throw it a little higher.
Yeah, I hit a... Actually, I threw what I wanted to throw here, but...
Yeah, you didn't hit the tree. You hit the branches coming off the left side of it.
You really have to hug it tight to that right side.
And Tanner makes the opposite mistake of that, leaks it out left. You gotta really turn it over. You gotta go so far to the right.
Mm-hmm.
I got that really overstable triple X in my hand.
Yeah, if you're gonna go forehand, you have to put it high enough here. Uli had to put it a little higher.
And that stays off that. I'm like pretty certain that's going to be close.
Yep. And it has to actually get a little more right than that.
Even that didn't get far enough to the right.
But still, for a forehand, that's as good as you can really get it. And Erik does, Erik does a pretty good job too. So I'm actually having to scramble from pretty awkward position because I have to get pretty far right. And the patent pending stance.
Is that a banger in your hand?
Yep.
Looks good. Looks perfect. Yep. Pin shot. Well done.
Yeah, happy to start off with a nice par save there. Uli lining up for about 50. And not his best effort there. And is this Tanner over here?
Yeah, Tanner's pretty deep in the woods, and that wasn't a great upshot. That kind of went straight into the ground on him.
Yeah, he's got a little tester remaining. Erik is having to navigate around a couple trees on his putt here. Oh, almost puts it in now.
Yeah. And I'm pretty close. I got to just do a little bit of straddling.
Yeah, only about 20 feet. Should make this most of the time. It's the first putt of the round, though, so you got the jitters going, right?
Yeah, definitely. And the people leading me in the tournament have just missed their first. So definitely one I really want to get. Happy to see it go in. And I'm not sure if that was a little bit left, but
it was
okay.
Just a little bit.
Unfortunately,
could have caught, but
and that could also be jitters for him. I'm sure this is probably the highest rated player Tanner's ever gotten to play with in a tournament.
Yeah, it might be his first time playing in the lead card of the final round in an MPO division. I think he's fairly new to playing in the MPO. This might be his first year.
And he's only 19 or 20, isn't he?
Yeah, he's young. He's got a lot of power. Probably can throw it, in the upper 400s, close to 500 on a backhand, and he has a pretty solid forehand as well.
Plenty of tools.
Yeah, a lot of potential for Tanner.
It'll be interesting to see how he bounces back after starting off with a bogey on hole 1. Bringing us to hole 2. Very similar to the Rd2 pad. It's going to often be the case with some of these holes. It's just probably 90 further away, something like that. I'm doing the same thing I did in round 1. Same destroyer in my hand. And I'm worried I don't put enough on this, but branch kind of sends it straight down. I've got a pretty routine upshot there.
Good little branch hit.
And Paul with the same nuke that he threw on the red pad, he's warmed up now.
Yeah, he's warmed up now. Like he won't be making the mistakes he made earlier in the first round, and that's a crush. That puts him in a really good position for a 3.
Yeah, I would say from the blue pad, this isn't very doable. And you like this a little left, and this reaction is horrible.
Yeah, it was really weird. It was kind of funny to watch though. Like,
I kept it low so it wouldn't do
I'm
that.
guessing it bounced off a log out there or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, not a good reaction though. Yeah, I'm pinched up against the Mando tree, and I'll have to do a little wraparound shot to just hopefully save a par.
And Erik's a little further left than I think most of us would like to be. Tanner wants to get right after that bogey to start off. This is a little flipped over.
A little turned over, short of the Mando. He'll have to make something huge happen here to get a birdie look.
This is a weird look with the hillside to worry about and the low ceiling of the branches right there. This is
He's lining up a forehand roller because it's really the only shot. It's a little risky because there's OB outright up there, but it's a good idea to try to save a birdie. And he
puts it down pretty well.
Puts it down pretty well and ends up in the trees a little bit, but has a look from about 60 feet. And I'm having to just do a little unwinding just to, try to save a par. Not really anything I can do to get a birdie still.
And we got Erik over here. Probably a fairway driver that he's throwing, but left it short.
Yeah, way short. Trees. Not where you want to be.
I've got my Firebird in my hand. Playing the hill. The wind is coming in a little bit, so I'm counting on getting left. And I'm making it easy.
Looks like you're going 2 for 2. And here I am throwing a jawbreaker zone. Pretty routine hyzer shot from about 150. Should be no problem getting up and down.
And looks pretty good.
Yeah, looking like tracking right at the pin. A little bit of a roll here, though.
Not a good triple. That is a very thick tree that you found yourself in.
It rolled a good 25 feet from the basket, and it's pretty obstructed.
Paul's been doing that touch forehand game.
Really obstructed. Really obstructed here for Erik, and a great scramble. It's really blocked behind those trees.
Tanner stayed out of the Christmas trees here.
Yeah, he's got a 60-footer.
Taking his time. Considerable breeze right now.
Yeah, good tailwind.
And that hit the heart. That was such a good putt.
No doubt, once it hit the chains, that was a perfect center putt. And from what I can tell so far, playing with him in a few rounds, he's pretty deadly from deep. He's always giving him a good bid from that deep circle 2 range. A lot of people are just, trying to get by the pin just to ensure that they get up and down. And he gives them a good bid.
Yeah, there's a little smirk on him. He knows.
Yeah,
he knows that.
Yeah.
Got to give him bumps on that.
So I'm on a knee here.
That's nothing to slouch at either. That's not routine.
A little bit of a steady headwind, probably about 5 to 10 miles per hour, but still.
You can see the range still coming down too. Paul's close enough to where he's never missing that.
Yeah, easy birdie for Paul there.
Tim collects par, and now I'm dunking in my birdie. And I'm tied up with you after 2.
Yeah, good start. Not for me.
All right, hole 3.
And you're going Firebird Thumber
Yes,
here.
over all of it. John probably didn't expect that to happen. So you're just going to see it come crashing in right there, but it's very close. I'm confident I'm getting that one too.
Yeah, taking all the trees out of play there and just throwing over everything. I like it. It's fun to watch.
I wouldn't do it with how windy it was today, but I actually did step up with a little break in the wind.
Okay. And Paul, it seems like he's really trying to avoid the OB on the road to the right of the basket, which is only about 25 feet for the basket. So he kind of fluffs it a little bit, and now he's stuck with a really tough to make putt. Tanner kind of doing the same mistake, it looks like, and they're both going to have
they're right by each other.
Really tough to make putts. It's a really low ceiling there. And I'm going Thumber because it's hard to miss left or right with the thumber, but the problem with the thumber is obviously it's going to roll in an unexpected way. And mine takes a...
Sure enough.
I mean, it could have been worse. Could have rolled into the road and gone OB, and then I'd have to make a putt for the par.
But here we see Erik also going with the thumber. That's 3 out of 5 players on the card. So clearly it's a good choice.
Yeah.
All those putts are closer than the 2 people that didn't throw the thumber. So Tanner's got to get low to even have a chance at putting this one in.
Oh, he gave it the height.
Oh, yeah.
That was a good bid.
He was not laying up. And Paul is going to show us how good his touch forehand game is.
Nearly draining it.
It almost looks like that could have stuck. You're dropping to a knee here. You're probably, 23 feet out, maybe? Maybe 25?
Close, yeah, 25, 28 feet, somewhere in that range.
Oh, good, too. Getting right after your par start. Tanner's got to save his 3 here. Looks like he's kind of right up against a tree, but you'd imagine he's close enough. This shouldn't be a problem.
Yeah, 20 to 25 feet or so. I think he's putting between the... Oh, no, never mind. He's not doing it.
Yeah. Taking his time, though. Being diligent about it. Erik was very close with his thumber.
Yep, easy too.
So the overhanders collect the birdie. Getting one on Paul and Tanner.
So it's a bit of a race forming here between, now you're in it, me, you, and Uli here.
Yep, Yuli's got you and I both by 2. We've kind of begun to separate from the rest of the guys, but it's windy. A lot of things can come into play.
Happen.
I'm doing the exact same thing I did on the red pad, just from 300 feet further away, forehand with that pink destroyer. Playing it safe.
Yeah,
and getting a lot on it too.
Yeah, definitely. That's where you want to be. I mean, it's a great shot there.
And it looks like you've also got a destroyer in your hand, opting for the backhand.
Yeah, I'm keeping it low on a hyzer. I'm not really trying to get as much ground as I can here. I just want to keep it inbounds because that you see that that line in the field out there is OB right.
Yes,
so he
came very close.
Barely stayed in bounds though. I just want to do what I can to stay away from that and just give myself a look because this whole hole is unobstructed as long as you just stay in the fairway.
Paul with his blue nuke.
Yeah, really crushing it up there. I think he outdrove the rest of the card here.
Yeah. I was pretty close to him, but yeah, he had, 10 feet on me. Tanner, I think if he would have got a little more turn on this, he probably would have had the best drive of the group. That was moving pretty quick.
Yeah, Tanner can crush.
And you've got your fireball in your hand. I love seeing you overhand this thing.
Yeah, it's always fun to overhand it.
And this is perfect.
Yeah, this shot, it actually hit our friend Justin Rhinesmith in the leg, and it stopped where it hit him. So I was told it could have been closer to the pin than where it ended up, but it still was about 20 feet short. So
Erik's opting for the forehand here. That looks considerably short, though. He's going to have a choice to make coming up. I'm close enough to where I'm going with a Firebird now. I'm going to try and do a big Anheuser that's just coming out of it the whole time. Kind of match the hillside. Loading it up. And I get a pretty favorable kick off that branch to come straight down. Probably would have been about twice the distance had I not hit that. So I'm looking at a 4 for 4 start.
Paul throwing a Comet here, and he's getting a little bit too much flip on that one and catches some branches, so he'll be having to lay up, as Tanner is doing here. It's a pretty
smart.
Pretty slopey green here, so things can really get away from you. There's Uli laying up his shot.
That was his layup. the whole way.
Erik might be giving this a run.
Yeah, he's in a position where it's not quite as deathy.
Maybe just played that up there.
That actually kind of looked like he got caught in tweener land there. You put this really close. I
nearly missed it, but it is in.
That was close.
So, you and I are picking one up here. If, assuming I make this. But, I've been putting well. I have no reason to believe I'll miss it.
I was pretty certain you were gonna miss this.
Wow.
I'm just messing with you.
I know.
I wonder if Patch Cam got that somewhere. Like, going over.
And you're off to a 4 for 4 start.
Yeah.
You'd be pretty
One of my better starts to any tournament I can recall. And, what better place to do it than on the old home course?
On your birthday.
On my birthday.
Happy birthday.
Erik cleans up a par there. The rest of our guys should be able to as well. Uli asking him to fix that chain.
Paul demanding.
Yeah,
people.
It was a demand because I can't really iterate how many times it happened throughout the day. It almost seemed like you guys were doing it intentionally to us on the card ahead.
Oh, yeah.
That's putting us to the island. 240. You don't make it, you go to the drop zone. I got my Buzz OS in my hand. I always play this disc regardless of what the wind situation is. And I let this go thinking this was perfect.
But get this.
Look at this.
Slides out of bounds and slides and is barely touching inbounds.
Yeah,
there.
the backspin of the disc actually brought it down the wood back into inbounds.
I mean, we all thought that was out of bounds.
Yeah, off the pad, we saw it just go onto the bridge, and I was pretty upset. I was like, I can't believe that's how I'm going to mess up my birdie streak. And you throw the exact same shot as me and don't get the bad reaction. You're very close. Erik hangs it out. Looked wide enough, but possibly too wide. Doesn't get it in. And Uli's taking the forehand with that peach-colored disc. I got to figure out what that is. Might have been a Raptor. But I don't know.
Yeah, I want to say it was, but maybe not.
And it kind of looks older than, like, any Raptor could be.
Yeah, I mean, Raptors are a couple, or a few 100 million years old, right?
Tanner takes the backhand hyzer, and I was stepping up to the drop zone, and I saw my disc, and it looked like it could be in, so I said, this is a provisional shot.
Yeah, you call the provisional,
And I thought I had it.
almost.
and you don't see your face here, but you were super mad about
I was
missing that
disgusted.
one. I got it on video, like on my iPhone.
Well, I thought I had the drop zone putt for the third time in a row.
Nice flex, but okay.
Yeah, you just miss the island and you'll get to get good at it. So here I am putting for what would be a 2, pending the decision.
Right in the hot.
I think I'm
Yeah.
going to get the benefit there. And I'm tapping out my
And
other
I'm
one.
tapping out my other one.
So that would continue the streak. We
Yes, we
come to the conclusion that it was inbound.
The only reason I'd say no is because then why would these be here in the first place? They used to not be here.
pretty much everybody else should be getting this. And I think at this point the rain had pretty much let off, but the wind did not.
Yeah, we'd be getting some gusts here and there throughout the
Yeah,
round.
exactly. So, I mean, your OB line can't. You know what?
Eric's gonna tap in that bogey. And we were actually looking at the white picket fence because that was the question, whether or not the wooden fence or the white fence was the OB line. But anyway, I got a Firebird in my hand to try and fight the wind here. I thought that was perfect. I was surprised to see it come short, but
Inside.
The
Not
inside
short,
route,
but
yeah.
like inside route, which works. It's
yeah, arguably works better to be putting it close.
yeah. I think I'm going inside. Yep, inside
Yep,
here.
you
And
as well.
not as good as yours though.
The wind does make that a precarious one. And that looked like it got past that, but
Yeah, Uli was kind of laughing on how it rolled like 2 feet to the right and directly behind those trees.
welcome to Bud Pell, Paul. And Tanner let this go way too high, hits the tree, and kicks straight back into the pond.
Yeah, pretty unlucky, but I will say I've seen that many, many times before. If you hit branches or a tree, you know, you better be crossing your fingers.
It's easy to happen in this wind, too. You can see these discs are just kind of like naturally rising right out of the hand. Erik, fortunate to cut through it.
So here's Tanner for the drop zone. This is for 3.
And this is, I would say, 38 feet uphill, maybe a little more.
A little more, yeah. That was a great bid.
And sit down. Okay. Hate to see those good runs roll
Here's
away.
Erik for 2, about the same distance.
Same result. Uli straddling left. Nice connection.
Yep, nice Anheuser putt.
You should be stepping up
Do you think that was
next.
Paul?
No, I was just asking.
Tanner tapping out.
He's my sensei.
I got you.
Unfortunate bogey. And Ewan are trying to keep pace with this putt here. Good stroke.
Yeah, I felt a little bit of pressure there. Just, you know, knowing there's a little bit of wind.
Yeah, the
and
wind
there's-
is always.
I have chained
present.
out and rolled down the hill before in previous tournaments.
I collect the easy birdie there. And Erik with the lone 3 on the card. We're gonna come into hole 7, and I'm perfect through 6 at this point. I feel like I'm on fire, and I'm stepping onto a tee box that I almost always birdie on.
Yeah.
Feeling good here.
It's a forehand hole that is a tight. It's pretty tight, but it plays hyzer forehand the whole way.
Got my triple X in my hand. I let go of this, and I thought it was perfect. I get the skip, and I hit that big 4-prong tree there.
The basket is about 15 feet to the right of the 4-prong tree. So I mean, you still have a good look, but it would have been parked if it had not hit it. So I'm going forehand as well. I don't option forehand, but I get a good one here.
That was perfect. You hit almost the exact same spot
Yeah.
as me on the tree. Yeah, we're going to get a replay. Right there and right there.
Yeah, same exact result there.
You and I should both be under the basket. We're going to have
Well,
to
we could have thrown better. We could have thrown better.
get out of here with that. You and I deserve the 2.
No, we still got a good putt. Look.
And we actually, Uli said, all right, you talked me into the forehand, and he hit this tree right off the get-go. He's like, you got me.
Yeah, I think he was gonna forehand something less overstable than what he did there, but when we went overstable, he threw something more overstable. So, I think that's what he meant when he said you got me.
And Tanner's going to make it 5 for 5 on the forehand on this hole. And
A little work to do here.
Yeah. He's far enough left where he's still in the fairway, though. Pretty wide open for the forehand.
That's not.
Yep, good shot.
But now, doors open for everyone on the card.
Putting through the
That was
harp-looking
sweet.
tree.
Little right, but it collects.
So, what do you call this tree? It looks like a harp, right?
It definitely, I mean, actually, this was the first time I'd ever heard of it referred to as the harp tree, but I do like that name. You're putting through the chords of the harp right into the heart of the chains.
You know, I thought I missed that, to be honest.
Really?
Yeah.
Thought you put it high or something?
Yep, I did. But, you know, sometimes, it works out.
You're getting hot. You've gotten everything since your par start.
Yeah, and here's to continue your streak of birdies.
Taking my time, I want it. Locked and loaded, but that was too right. I knew it right away. It's unfortunate that's how it ends, but there's still a lot of golf to play.
Yeah, it wasn't like an air ball or anything. So
Yeah.
I mean, you gave it a bid.
Eric from just a little bit closer, but perhaps a little bit more awkward, being closer to this tree. And I think that may have affected his stroke there. So you and Tanner are going to card the lone birds on that hole. The rest of us are going getting the par.
Look at this.
Yeah, I'm crazy. Don't mess with me, people.
Swag, wag, 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 wag.
Swag. Eric taps in with the bag on. That's pretty scary too, right there. Let's get into hole 8.
Yeah.
Enough of this
What
nonsense.
did I just watch there? All right.
You got that green destroyer.
Yeah, I'm just trying to get a nice flare at the right time towards the basket. It doesn't flare at all there, but
The ground's unpredictable.
it's pretty unpredictable here.
And you kind of have to like hope you get it. You have to play accordingly.
I want to flare towards it because anytime you do what you're about to see here,
Tanner's about to do it.
you skip around the basket and it's just gonna skip hard and it's just gonna roll down there. So
It's gonna keep on rolling. He's all of 60 feet away up a hill.
you're gonna take out the skip, flare, roll down the hill possibility by going forehand. And this shot is incredible.
Yeah.
Perfect.
I let go of that one and I said, I'm gonna take it too.
Yeah. That flexed out at the perfect time.
I've been
Great
feeling
shot.
good with that 17 Firebird. It was the same one I threw on hole 4. Paul's taken a backhand with what I think is his force. Kind of so overstable it might prevent him from skipping too far down the hill.
Yeah.
And Eric put this up. Looks too high, a little short. Yep, you can see it rolling. And Tanner ought to just be laying this up. You can kind of run it, but it's hard to keep it up that long. Ooh, that was scary for a second.
Yeah. Could have rolled down the hill. It's a pretty steep slope that you can't really tell on the camera here.
Yeah, you're outside the circle on this putt.
Yeah, and putting a death putt.
Great.
So nice. Buttery.
Yeah, I kind of was like thinking, am I really gonna run this? And then I'm like,
I'm
you know
so
what?
glad you did.
If I want a chance at beating Uli, I gotta be making these kind of putts.
Yes. That's a great mindset to have about it. And that's what it takes to make a great putt like that. Putting the pressure on him. He's got to make this to keep pace. And the camera didn't do it justice, but that just barely
That
snuck in on
had
the left side.
that had an arc to it. It was like a basketball shot. Like he really doesn't want to take any chance at getting a spit out from these baskets because these can spit them out. Like
Yeah.
they're not like the best baskets out there. What would you say are the best anyway? Like
It depends on what your kind of putt is.
Mach X or something?
My
The-
preference is a Mach X.
these chain stars don't like the hard putts, and he's really been floating them in there to make sure that doesn't happen.
I look so goofy. I'm so happy to be playing with Paul Ulibarri you on the lead card for Winter at the Bud.
All right, so we have a really tight wooded hole here, and I did exactly what I wanted to
That was
do here with
perfect.
the thumber.
You hit the
yeah.
stump. I'm going to do the same thing. I loved it.
It's shaped nicely just to cheat with a thumber here. Like the forehand is really touchy. It's really you like to throw forehands and you don't go forehand here.
But
so.
we're going to see that touchy forehand.
Yeah, Paul's touch forehand game is next level. There's really not anybody out there that I can think of who is better than him at those kind of touch forehand shots. I mean,
He did juice that one a little, but he's got a chance at the elevated basket. Tanner going forehand, but that... There was actually someone shouting in the background.
Eric likes what he saw out of the thumbers from us.
Yep. Same thing with hole 3 earlier. And he catches a tree,
Yeah,
unfortunately.
he threw it a little right there.
Probably laying this one up.
Yeah.
Tanner from what looks like about 50. Probably wishing he laid it up. And And Paul from outside the circle to...
Is he outside the circle?
I think he may have been.
I think he's a little bit inside, but I think he's about 25 to 30.
It was a good hit. And
Nice putt.
we kind of stone colded him. He was like, thank you. Nobody said nice putt. So,
I did, but I was kind of far away.
We'll say it now. That was a good putt. Tanner to clean up his par. This is no gimme. Good
Nice
stroke.
putt.
Yep. And I'm from a very similar distance.
Looking to do better than what you did on this hole in the last round.
Yes, I took a bogey. I 3-putted, but not today. Well, I should say not in this round.
Yeah, not in this round.
Going 8 for 9 on my front 9. I'm more than satisfied.
Yeah.
So you and I are tied up. We're chasing Uli by 1. Tanner and Erik have fallen off pace a little, being at 9 to 7. And actually, you are going to be tied with Uli after you dunk this in. Foot fault. Good thing you held on to that. Erik would have called you on it. He wasn't even looking at you, but he would have.
Not quite Zion.
Man, that was fun. I hope you guys will join us for the back 9.
Well, I sure hope so, Dylan.
Take it easy, fellas. Thanks again, John Brown TV.